According to Sarah S.B. Ewell's account in 1889, which is debatable in itself, as even in the 19th century there were quite a few engaged in fake news, Ralph Waldo Emerson, the student of Henry David Thoreau, of American civil disobedience fame and protest of taxation, was attributed to a quote that often is misquoted in meme and popular legacy, like a child's game of telephone. But I am certain, nonetheless, that you have heard that if you build a better mousetrap, the world will make a beaten path to your door. For broader contextual observation, the entire quotation attributed to Emerson states, if a man writes a better book, not preaches a better sermon, or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, though he built his house in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. Those who believe in a theory of meritocracy might certainly excuse the grammar and accept the proposition as gospel that a person who produces a better anything, be it a sermon or a book or even a common variety mousetrap, will find a host of persons coming to them seeking something better. But probably because, like some congressional candidates even, they never took a marketing course nor pondered the philosophical question about the tree that falls in the woods and the audibility of the crashing sound to others outside its proximity that should ensue. And those who have never been offered a lucrative federal job at a highly coveted national security agency and spent 3 years in 3 litigations just trying to get an investigation into any impropriety or illegality imputed to that transaction may reasonably be inclined to be a bit more cynical about merit systems and protections thereof. But like the creation of the Merit Systems Protections Board was a symbolic gesture of the Democrats in Congress to create integrity and principles in a merit-based civil service system after Watergate, building a better mousetrap and its enduring impact may not mean what you think it means. Empirically, consider the quintessence of that one distilled gem taken from a longer quotation that discarded both a good sermon and a good book, and just consider the operation of a common mousetrap. And if you have ever had the opportunity to observe a rat in a maze or a mouse in close proximity to a mousetrap, you will know that there is no great expectation that the mouse is going to decide to forgo pleasant pleasures. Looking beyond the mousetrap, what will happen to his family, what will happen to his species if all others in a categorical imperative do as he does, or even about what will happen to him if he permits himself to believe in a choice without consequences. That higher level of thinking, despite his visual learning experiences of the past, are more likely than not to a mathematical degree of certainty far beyond his cognitive capacity. To hazardous result. So it's not really a nail-biting cliffhanger for those who love action thriller movies to watch this spectacle. Short-sightedness, or to be theologically philosophical, not permitting the I to transcend to the thou, will always defeat the rat and his succeeding generations that follow because they systematically and consistently fail to make the right choices in natural selection, which given sufficient repetition will always lead to extinction and elimination from the game board. Roaches check into the Roach Motel because they lack the ability to think outside the box. And just like back in the days of John F. Kennedy, when he decided to take men like Bob McNamara and the best and the brightest to bring the common sense business approach to the military, the pendulum has swung back to the ideas of the military that engaged in the hard work of freedom to tear an inchoate confederation of colonies from the tyrannical rule of the British Crown, particularly in the realm of education, where priorities have been lost in mission creep, finding school administrators replacing the roles of the church that was embedded in the Bill of Rights, as well as the role of traditional nuclear families and the formation of values and conscience. It is in the military where a mission focus does not view a mission statement as an exercise in creative writing, as they do even in one of the best public school systems in the Commonwealth of Virginia, according to one board member who actually works as a civilian for the military, but rather as that vision without which a people will perish, a sine qua non. And in the military, in elite forces like the Army Rangers, we have 19-year-old soldiers who have been re-engineered to view a challenge as an opportunity and to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And the sole idea was so powerful that it affected the entire doctrine and planning of our most formidable military adversary, the centralized communists in the former Soviet Union, whose battle doctrine continues even today to shape the tactics, techniques, and procedures of our most dangerous foes in the modern age. If just one Army Ranger is spotted by a Soviet-trained soldier who provides that intelligence in turn to his higher command, that commander will direct without fail his field artillery battery to launch a multiply launched rocket system to destroy an entire grid square measuring 1 square kilometer and pray a secular prayer that he defeated the will to fight of an Army Ranger. And as a result, it is not a common experience to find even a Ranger veteran to forget that surrender is not a Ranger word, permitting that former soldier even to defy the statistics of veteran suicides. And that is a powerful idea that can defeat even the march of armies, and that time has come, because life is winning in America by definition. In military basic training, based upon battle-focused training models to support force projection and force protection objectives by a higher command that recognizes with chilling awareness that you cannot save the world if you fail to survive, initial entry soldiers are taught basic soldiering common tasks upon which they continue to be tested throughout their 10 years of service to ensure that they can complete with proficiency those basic military tasks that ensure their survivability to enable them to complete the larger mission. A mutual agreement that ensures mutual benefits in advancement of a greater good. And in education, just as young soldiers must be taught to be aware of their surroundings and to recognize that shiny objects do not present themselves on a battlefield naturally and are not invitations to collect souvenirs, similarly, junior and senior leaders cannot afford to be tempted towards objectives that creep beyond the mission requirements, attracted by the appeal of a new idea or great suggestion that gives someone a good feeling, but which adds absolutely no value to the purpose of the organization. Military leaders are trained to recognize that they do not do anything just for you, but always as a priority, fight for us. Looking beyond immediate gratification, considering the consequences of opportunity costs, and seeing the bigger picture, while also recognizing the repercussions in a categorical imperative paradigm that if they fail to act properly and others follow their example, in the world of battle, people die. So, are you a man on a mission or a mouse looking for a mousetrap? Mission first, men always before myself is the motto of a military officer. I am Major Mike Webb, retired Army Ranger, and I am running for U.S. Congress with liberty, honor, and excellence. By God, we shall make America great again.